on, guys? You guys are tuning into the Watch Podcast with your host, owner-operator, Eric Huggins, Night One Patrol. We are the light in the dark. Psalm 139 verse 12. And today, run episode 47. Where's Cesar?
Cesar Hernandez, please report to the principal's office immediately.
Let's go!
Now, 2 days later, still no sign of Cesar Hernandez.
It's day 3 of the manhunt for escaped inmate and convicted killer Cesar Hernandez.
On the 4th day of the manhunt for convicted killer Cesar Hernandez.
It marks a week since 34-year-old Cesar Hernandez managed to escape from officials after he jumped out of a moving van that was taking him to court.
Convicted murder on the loose in Central California. Take a good look at your screen. This is 34-year-old Cesar Hernandez, who
What's going on, guys? You guys are tuning into the Watch Podcast. Today, we're on episode 47. Where is Cesar? Where's that guy at? Cesar had outlasted the New York shooter who was on the run. You guys remember the United Healthcare CEO was shot and killed by an unknown person using a suppressor. And this dude walked away, took off on a bicycle, ended up on the damn bus at home just in time for supper. All to get caught 5 days later by a damn person at McDonald's. He had one job. He had one job. He screwed that one up. And then he was caught. Luigi Mangione was, of 26, was identified and located at the McDonald's in Pennsylvania, about 233 miles west of New York City. And Cesar wins. He has outlasted Mr. Luigi by 3 days. Cesar's on 8. Well, guys, before I get into it, let me give a little disclaimer. I am not law enforcement. I'm not a CO. I'm just a I am a private security company owner of 20 years. I've done private security for the last 20 years. I've owned my own security company for the last 4 years. And I have a lot of experience in law enforcement, working with law enforcement. So I have a little bit of insight, a little bit of knowledge on some of these, and just kind of want to shed some light. There's a lot of stories going back and forth, and no one's really talking. So I felt like I could shed a little light, a little knowledge. Don't hurt, Check some receipts. Not everybody's checking receipts. Everybody's just running with it. And I don't like that. So, if you guys remember the case of Cesar Hernandez, just this past last week, December 2nd. He fled from a CO. Stop!
I'm a fast kid.
And he hasn't been seen since. So the news said that, oh God, this is the problem with the news, is that the news always has to screw things up. Could they have found Mr. Hernandez just in time for lunch? Possibly. But the news continued to give away law enforcement coordinates, letting Hernandez know, hey, this is exactly where law enforcement's at.
Porter on the corner of 19th Place and Inyo Street. A lot of police activity. Right now we have Delano PD on standby, as well as officers from the Cdcr. Taking a look to my left, we can see just more officers chatting with the community, trying to get...
Is the news working for Cesar? Is he? Are they? They made it so much easier for Hernandez to articulate law enforcement's next move. We're not going to talk about that, though, right? Of course not. We're going to hold everybody else accountable except for the news. But I'm holding the news accountable for this one. All right? And I believe that this plan of Mr. Hernandez was very, very planned out and very methodical. Everybody's asking questions, you know. And I had to do some receipt checking. I did this podcast last week, and I said, you know what? I need to know the story. I need to know the full story. I need the tea. So I talked to a couple CEOs. They gave me the kind of the rundown of what happened. All right, and I believe this to be true. And one was that Hernandez was not dressed appropriately, as he was on his way to court, and he didn't dress up. Okay, he had street shoes on that were not of Cdcr compliance, and he also had thermals under his orange, and also he had a key that was
double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon.
Why he was unlocked, during his attempt to escape. He had a handcuff key. Now they said that he had a makeshift handcuff key, but from when I look at the timing of it, I think he actually had a key. Okay, it's a little bit concerning that he wasn't wearing his proper shoes. It was a little bit concerning that he had his thermals under. So what happened when he escaped? And it looked like he got into a fight with the CO, and the CO ended up, got injured by Hernandez and fled. From my experience and my knowledge, I believe there's typically usually supposed to be two. I don't know why there was just one, two COs, and there's just one in this matter. And so do we think that this is an inside job? It's 50-50. Because the CEO that transports is not his first day transporting. He's been on the job for the last maybe 5-6 years, and his main job has been transporting. So I would believe that he would see Hernandez not dressed properly and say, hey, you need to go back and change. Or it is something that we overlooked. That he overlooked. Just didn't think about it. Just, who knows? So and you gotta remember, Hernandez has been in prison for the last few years, and so he's got time to think. Got time to think, man. Because Cruz was convicted of murder April 2019. And he was to be serving 80 years to life in state prison. I guess I should see why he want to leave. I ain't getting out. The news says he's going to be there for 25 to life with the possibility of parole. But he was sentenced to 80 with the possibility of parole. But we already know he's not going to be he won't live that long. Cesar Hernandez is identified as Hispanic male, 34 years old, about 5'6", about 160 pounds. And he looks pretty like a normal dude. So it's kind of hard to, I think it's a little bit hard to locate him because he doesn't have very many tattoos. I don't even know. He doesn't have tattoos on his face. He doesn't have tattoos on his arm. So it's a lot easier for him to be, unrecognizable. If you guys would agree. And then the fact that, he had his thermals under, he took off his orange and had some nice street shoes. And so he's walking around undetected. People are not recognizing him. By the time that people started getting pictures of the guy, he was already in Long Beach, already having lunch. And some people were like, man, what did this guy do? Like, I mean, yeah, he murdered somebody, but gosh dang, 80 years? How bad was it? Yeah, it wasn't that bad. But I guess it was bad. Someone lost their life over it. But there was an enhancement where he was committed a murder, being a felon in possession of a firearm, and that was an enhancement that they gave Hernandez, um, which is would be the reason why they gave him 80 years to life. And you know the news is getting on CDCR um over their policy, and they blasted the corrections department on the internet with a of 835A. And Penal Code 835A states peace officer may use deadly force to prevent the escape of a dangerous person. This means a peace officer is justified in using deadly force to apprehend a fleeing person for any felony that threatened or resulted in death. I'm just kind of wondering if anyone checked any receipts on that one. They just what is the news? Just go start looking for things? But I don't get it. And when they look for things, do they go back and look at to see if these laws have changed over the last 4 or 5 years? I mean, as a normal person, I would assume that they would have changed the law after the whole George Floyd thing. Everyone, every cop, every police organization, every law enforcement agency out here has just gotten so soft over this whole George Floyd guy. I'm sick of it. But in January 1st of 2020, the PC 835A was amended by Assembly Bill 392. If the news didn't know. And it redefines the circumstances where police can actually use deadly force. And the thing is, this bill, the Assembly Bill 392, is really mainly to encourage law enforcement to use things other than deadly force, and they want them to use non-lethal, and they want them to use de-escalation skills, techniques. Want them to talk more, be nice. I mean, you guys watch these videos on YouTube or TikTok, and you see the police officer saying, "Hey, ma'am, can you step out of the car?" "I ain't not stepping out of anything." "Ma'am, can you step out of the car?" "I'm not stepping out of anything." "Ma'am, can you please step out of the car?" "I'm not stepping out of anything." Call your watch commander. And you can see how law enforcement is now. Now they can't even do their job. They got to deal with verbal abuse all damn day, and they can't break a window until someone says they can. Someone that doesn't want to get out of the car. So with this law, it was impossible for the correctional officer to be able to shoot Hernandez while he's running. And if they didn't know, one, Hernandez didn't do anything crazy violent. He didn't have anybody hostage. He didn't have anyone held against their will. He wasn't trying to take someone's life. He was trying to run. And on top of that one is, there's also another law that backs that part up. It's the fleeing felon law. If a person is committed in a felony, he leaves and he is running and you're pursuing him, you cannot shoot him from the back. I didn't check receipts on that one either. Of course not. And that's been around forever. The Supreme Court stated that it was unconstitutional under the Fourth Amendment. So, if you guys remember, I talked about it last week. Fourth Amendment is a search and seizure. It's illegal until you get a warrant. And so they didn't have a warrant to do that. So fleeing felon law. But yeah, this stuff has been around for a long time, but no one's receipt checking. And that's where that's where the news needs to shut the hell up sometimes and mind their own damn business and just report and not become attorneys, not become law enforcement officers, agents. They need to just be damn newscasters and mind their damn business. So sorry. Okay, back to program. So in March of 2019, Hernandez was charged with first-degree murder. Okay, and the information alleged that Hernandez personally used and discharged a firearm causing death. And because he also had a prior serious and violent felony crime, it qualified him for a strike. And we all are asking, okay, well, they had the whole damn city freaking out. Everybody's on edge. Everyone's like, okay, well, what the hell did this guy do? We want to know. Did he kill somebody? Did he murder somebody? Did he I don't know. I don't know. Was he Jeffrey Dahmer? Was he a serial killer? Who was he? Well, a lot of the reason why I'm doing this as well is because I obviously own and operate a security company. I've been doing security for a long time, and this one incident started at a bar. It always starts at a bar. It says every joke ever. 3 guys in a bar and they da. So, but it started in a bar. And this happened of June 25th of 2018. And around 1:25, a girlfriend, by the name of Gabby, went to her job and asked for her job back. Talked to the manager, asked for her job back. Hernandez had also been with her as well, and she wanted her job back. And the guy's like, "Hey, yeah, go ahead, get your job back. Come on, come work tonight." And I'm kind of wondering, like, why is she asking for her job back? Well, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we'll get into that in a minute. So she worked at a bar. She's a bartender, and Hernandez had been usually spotted at the bar while she's working, and pretty much would stay there for her entire shift. And you imagine he's at a bar, nightclub, got music playing. He's drinking. He's having a good time. He's having a nice couple of drinks, pounding them. A little bit of, yeah. Absolutely. And so what happens is they end up getting into a heated argument. And Hernandez's girlfriend, she walks off the job. So now you imagine she asked for her job back, but you imagine before when she quit her job, or when she had to leave her job, it was probably because Hernandez was being aggressive and abusive towards her. And made her quit her job. And the one day she goes back to work, he's already arguing with her. And I believe there's a gentleman that was at the bar, and he's having some drinks, and she was tending to him, and Hernandez didn't like that. Cesar didn't like that at all. He didn't like another man talking to his girl, although she's working in a hospitality environment and where people are drinking. And where she makes her money off of tips, she's got to be a little extra friendly. Hernandez is like, nah, I don't like that. Her personal security says, no, we're not doing that. And so, yeah, they get into a heated argument, and she storms out. And then, you got Hernandez over there all, running around, just like a crazy man, going to the restroom. And just like any other security guard, bouncer at an establishment like that, he's looking at the behaviors of Hernandez, and he's like, "Hey, yo, dude, what's going on? You can't be walking in your girl's restroom like that. Can I help you?" And then you got Hernandez over here like, "F you! Leave me alone! Get out of my way!" And Hernandez can't find Gabby, so he gets out. He runs out, gets in the car, and starts riding up and down. And by that time, Gabby had already probably walked a whole football field away from the establishment. And this establishment was Los Coronosos bar located in Linwood. right off of Long Beach Boulevard, near Long Beach, I think. And so he's chasing her. She's running into an alley, and she ends up she ends up near a bakery. Um, and at the same time, there was a white pickup truck, and I believed it was the patron that was already in the bar. I think he saw her running frantically, and he tried to offer her aid. At that time, Hernandez veers off and tries to and forces the vehicle to pull over, and he gets out of the car. Hernandez gets out of the vehicle, walks around, and unalives the driver of the truck. And this would be in the same area, where the girlfriend had been running. So in my opinion, I believe that he was trying to offer the girlfriend aid, and Hernandez just lost even more. So at that point, there was a bystander um, that observed the two vehicles out on the side of the road, and he witnessed a man standing next to a pickup truck, and the man, who was Hernandez, was seen pulling out a gun and shooting the driver of the truck. Now, what law enforcement did, they showed up about 1:50, and one of the sheriff deputies noticed that there was a victim suffering from a gunshot wound, and the vehicle had a shattered window and had blood running from the victim's face. So law enforcement did their due diligence and did their investigative work, and noticed that there was cell phone They pulled the cell phone tower, found some cell phone records, and obviously they probably spoke to the bar. The bar said, "Hey, yeah, my worker left. She got frantic. The boyfriend chased her, and oh, who's the boyfriend?" They gave the name, and so they checked cell phone records. They find Hernandez in the air, in the area, and I want to say within August 3rd, they had a warrant and enough to arrest Hernandez for a murder. So while they have him held, there's no vehicle for evidence, because alleged the vehicle had crashed into that pickup truck. So they needed to obviously they need to do their forensics or whatever. So what happened was took a couple months later, September 21st, police were notified that a white Nissan that matched the description of Hernandez that he was driving was impounded in Tijuana and matched the description in which Hernandez was driving. So what they did was they looked at the paint chips and matched the paint chips up to the truck, and Hernandez would be sentenced in April of 19th and found guilty of both counts of murder and firearm enhancement. And of May 6th, they sentenced Hernandez to 80 years to life. Wow, it's a lot, right? So yeah, it happened at a bar, and it's that happened at a bar. In the truck, the vehicle that Hernandez had been previously driving in, the girlfriend was the one that got caught in Tijuana, at Border Customs. So, it happened. So anyway, so yeah, he goes to jail, and then now we're here, and everybody's wondering, like, where is Cesar? Let me tell you guys where Caesar's at. Caesar's in Hong Kong!
Nigga coming looking for me, I'm in Hong Kong. I just went to the store, got a honey bun. My mama just called, said you got some money, son. I forgot what time it is, I'm in Hong Kong. If they looking for me, tell them that I'm long gone.
He's in Hong Kong! Not Hong Kong! Hong Kong, Tijuana, Hong Kong! You got no Tijuana. Hong Kong over there. He's over there having a good time. So the question is, what do we do now? Nothing. Just watch and wait for the news to see if they ever catch him. And given all this that had went on, he's got a lot of silent people that ain't cracking. All right. I'm kind of curious if the marshals have gone to Gabby to see if she's the one that had maybe helped him out. And if she did, she ain't cracking either because they can't seem to find him. Um, and CDCR has been pretty quiet, as I guess they would, because the news has been just running the corrections through the mud, and anything they say, the news wants to twist it up. So it's just like, what's the point of saying anything anymore? All right. Will they find Cesar? I don't know. I mean, Luigi did a good job and he screwed up. He went to McDonald's to celebrate. I hope the shake machine wasn't down that day. But will they find Hernandez? Will they find Cesar Hernandez? Yes. Not anytime soon, though. I think he has to get a point to where he gets comfortable and starts to slack off, because now he has to live this life as a fugitive. And people are like, where do you think he's at? He's in Mexico for sure. 100%. Definitely Mexico. And he might be connected out there. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, it's been real. It's one of those situations where where everyone's looking at pointing fingers of whose fault it was. If like I said, I gave this whole case a 50-50 chance. That it won 50% that it might be an inside job, and 50% that it may be a training error. It's kind of hard when you're getting punched in the back of the head by somebody, and then you try to gather yourself, and by the time he's already gone, and you can't shoot him because it's illegal. So, like, where do we go from here? Everyone asks, is he shackled? Yeah, he definitely 100%. But like I said, he took himself out of the handcuffs, and so there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions to this, and not enough answers. And like I said, from my experience, I'm going to give this one a 50-50. 50% that it was an inside job, and 50% that it was a training opportunity. I hope so. I hope it was a training opportunity. But anyway, hey guys, this is real. Made this real quick. Didn't want to be too much into it, But it's a situation where everyone's asking questions, and I thought I'd just drop in, throw my little 2 cents in. Not that anyone gives a damn, but it's a thing where I gotta get on the news for this. Because the news is over there shedding, trying to shed some light and get everybody all riled up and pissed off. And I work in an industry where we're always getting our industry dragged through the mud, and I hate to see the corrections industry get dragged through the mud because of this. So I don't know. There's been an incident in the past where there was a corrupt CO coming out of that prison.
Correctional Officer Brittany Sampson has been charged with providing contraband to inmates and sneaking cell phones into the prison. According to court documents, the 25-year-old allegedly accepted bribes and gave inmates Ira Kearney and Ollie Bledsoe cell phones. She's also accused of having sex with them. Investigators say they found multiple cell phones and inmate letters at Sampson's Bakersfield apartment.
And I just hope that it wasn't an incident where it was an inside job. But we have to look at these inmates that are in prison, that are going to be spending the rest of their life there, that they have so much time to just think and brainstorm and find holes in the system. And I believe that Cesar found a hole and crawled right through it to where it got him free. So, and so I'm gonna say I hope it was a hole, and I hope it wasn't an inside job. Guys, this is real. If you guys like this podcast, please like, share. It really helps out, yeah, share. I'm just here sharing my own opinion. Not that my opinion matters much, but if you guys have some other further information, leave it in the comments. If you guys can go back and forth on this incident, we can shed on this incident all together and come with the conclusion. A guesstimation, if you will. If you guys got any other questions, you guys can find us on Night's Watch Patrol on Instagram. Check our link tree. You guys can find us. We're on kind of everywhere: Twitter, Google. You can also, if you guys don't have time to watch the podcast on YouTube, you guys can definitely check it out on the Apple Podcasts where it'll be available. Spotify and any other platforms where podcasts are available. Check it out. Like I say, guys, send me a comment, send me a like, send me a share, do something. I don't know. Help me out. Help a brother out. Anyway, guys, it's been real. I want you guys to love God, love each other. Let's go change the world!
Been watching me, and it's plain to see that you got your mind made up, girl, that you wanna